Hello, this is the Jurassic expert here, back with another video. And you're probably thinking, wait, didn't you already do a Poseable Indoraptor video? Well, you probably read the thumbnail. Don't know why I've already done this. But yeah, this is a knockoff Indoraptor, and I knew. But I will go in on how to avoid getting a knockoff Indoraptor at the end of this video. So yeah, let's first take a look at the paint. Once you actually get up close to it, it does not look half bad. There's a little bit of bleed over on the teeth. They did paint the tongue and the little gum membranes there. They do have this nice gold stripe along the side of the body, very similar to the other Indoraptor. They did paint the eyes red, and they did put in the little red spots there. You can't see it too well, but they're there. So yeah, paint wise, like this figure, it looks exactly the same paint wise, but the sculpt wise is actually how I figured out what was going on there. So yeah, let's actually go over articulation though. So much like the Poseable Indoraptor, the head does have a little bit of a ball joint that allows it to look up that much, down that much, to the side that much, and to the side that much. The jaw is on a hinge, so it can open that much, close that much, and I just can open that much, close that much. These are actually on a swivel joint, not a hinge joint, like the not on a swivel and a hinge joint like the Poseable Indoraptor, so it can move forward that much, back that much. This, however, is on a swivel and hinge joint, so can bend its elbow in that much and out that much. This arm can bend around that much and back that much and bend its arm in that much. The legs are also on a swivel joint, so another difference between the Indoraptors, the fake Indoraptor and the real Indoraptor. So, can move forward that much. There is no articulation in the knee, unlike the real Indoraptor. There is a hinge and swivel joint there, so it can move its leg back that much and forward that much, similar to the original Indoraptor. Same situation here, can bend its leg forward that much, back that much, this leg can move forward that much, back that much, and they can both move a full 360, and I forgot to mention that the arms can both move a full 360. And there is not articulation in the tail, even though it looks like there is, and there is articulation at the end of the tail, and frequently pops off, but it doesn't want to do that in this video. And also, I forgot to mention, there is no articulation in the top part of the head. And yeah, we'll go over a full-on comparison at the end of this video with the real Poseable Indoraptor as well. So, yeah, sculpt-wise, this is how one tell that I could see was that there was no seam or anything for head articulation, so then that was an immediate realization. And also, if you looked at the sculpt in person, a lot of the detail that's in the real Indoraptor is washed out because they actually, like, I'm guessing they probably scanned the real one and shrunk it down, but in turn this took out a lot of the detail and it makes it look really glossy and all that. Like in the forearm there, you'd be seeing a bunch of scales and all that. You kind of see that. You kind of see a texture, but it's not really sculpted in there. It's like it's glossed on. So yeah, and they even sculpt the seam there where it looks like it would have that articulation, but it doesn't. I've tried and I figured out that it doesn't. They did sculpt inside the mouth and all that. Again, it has a lot of the same qualities that the real Indoraptor does. They did not actually sculpt as many of the quills on the back. There are a couple of the quills in the middle there. They did not sculpt those in. So, yeah. So, yeah, let's actually take a look at size comparisons, and you'll see how small this Indoraptor is. I knew that I was getting a knockoff. I didn't realize I was getting this bad of a knockoff, though. So, for your battle damage attack pack comparison, here's the Indoraptor next to the battle. Here's the knockoff Indoraptor next to the battle damage blue, and they are almost this. They are almost the same size. Seriously, wow. And for your human comparison, here is the fake Indoraptor next to Owen Grady. I mean, this could make like a good like juvenile Indoraptor actually. And yeah, before we actually go into the real Indoraptor, because I'm just getting done with the Amber Collection figure, here it is next to the Amber Collection Velociraptor. Indoraptor's a little bit smaller. So yeah. And finally, the comparison that you're really wanting to see is the fake Indoraptor next to the real Indoraptor. Oh my gosh, the size difference is insane. Like, hold on, let me just move that up for you guys. There. So, there they are. Like, this Indoraptor is like half the size of that one, and it doesn't have as much articulation and not as much sculpt. As you can see in the face sculpt here, there isn't a whole lot of texturing going on, whereas in the real one you could see like all the scaling and detail and all that. So yeah, and so that's one of the ways how I actually knew that this was a knockoff. I didn't look at the dimensions or anything. I just looked at the head and knew right away that it was a knockoff. I actually was not expecting it to be this small. So yeah, if you're shopping on eBay or where I got this from, Wish, because I know that's really popular at the moment to buy stuff from Wish, be very careful about that. And it took a while for this to get here, but I knew that once it came in, I had to make a video on it. So yeah, so be very careful. Make sure to look at all the images. So some ways how you could tell to tell the difference between this fake Indoraptor and the real Indoraptor is, again, just to look at the close-up images of the head and make sure to go through all the images, because they could actually use real product images. And also, if it's on Wish, just don't trust it to be a real product. So as you can see in the head there, no joint, no cut or anything for the joint in the top of the head, and yeah, you could see there is a lot of detail missing there. So that was like actually the only way that I knew that this was a knockoff. And yeah, they pretty much did almost an exact replication of the sculpt except for the head there. So yeah, and they even sculpted in, like, for some reason both of them have scan code slots, like, for that code. It's just really, really weird with this figure. So yeah, I hope some of you might have learned, like, things to look out for when you're shopping on Wish and you see an Indoraptor there, and hopefully, like, if you get that, make sure to pay close attention, because I'm pretty sure at one point this was actually the same price as that Indoraptor, $30 for this, which would have been very, very overpriced and very not worth it. But yeah, I was able to get this for, I think, $20 at the time. I think the price has gone down to like 10 or $8 or something, which I'd say is a little bit more reasonable, considering what you're getting. So yeah, hopefully you guys were able to learn something about, like, the sculpt's difference between a knockoff and a real Indoraptor, and make sure and now know what to look for when you're on Wish or eBay or something and you see an Indoraptor at a very low price. So yeah, if it's really low, it's probably too good to be true, and you're probably going to end up with this, not this. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video and found it somewhat entertaining. And yeah, as always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified whenever I put up new videos like this one. And as always, dinosaurs might be older than you, but you are never too old for dinosaurs. Bye-bye.